Hey, I'm James from Smoking Dad Barbecue, and today I am doing an unboxing of the Weber Smokey Mountain. And just like me, this grill is in its 40s. Now, for the last 15 years or so, I've been cooking on ceramic cookers, but before that, there was a time when I cooked on one of these. So in a way, this is kind of like getting back together with your high school girlfriend.
You had a high school girlfriend?
Well, it was available. My availability aside, but if you saw the yearbook pictures, that would be self-explanatory. But I am actually really interested in doing an updated test and some head-to-heads with this grill. The sub $500 space has gotten really interesting over the last couple of years. There's been sort of the introduction and growth of barrel smokers. I'm currently doing some testing on something like the Masterbuilt Auto Ignite, which brings some electronics and fan controls. And a whole bunch of people have said, hey James, I love some of the experiments that you're doing on your offset smokers where you have an efficient burning fire leading to great smoke quality results. And if there's one thing I remember this doing really well is burning a nice clean fire. It doesn't have the efficiency that a Kamado does in terms of withstanding the cold weather and hardly burning any fuel, but fire is flavor. So I'm excited for everyone following along who says, I might be interested in expanding my grill portfolio or getting a smoker, but I don't really want to step up into the several $1,000s range for an offset smoker, nor do I want to sign up for the fire management headaches or learning curve that comes with that. Instead, I want to find a bit of happy medium. That's my game plan this spring, to do an updated head-to-head between pellet, charcoal, automatic grills, everything in the sub $500 space, to see what the best option is. So now that you know part of the journey in terms of how I will be using this grill over the weeks and months to come, let's get to unboxing it. And thanks, by the way, to Weber for providing this grill. Last year, they reached out and sent me the Summit for my upcoming full review this spring in the Kamado space. And they once again came through and provided this grill to me at no cost. So thanks to Team Weber for providing the Weber Smokey Mountain for today's unboxing. Okay, let's get unboxing. I'll zoom in and out of fast forward based on anything that's interesting, but something else that I forgot to mention in the intro clip that's appealing about grills like this is their weight and their portability. I saw Jeremy from Mad Scientist last year do a video where he cooked an entire brisket inline on a drum smoker, I believe, at Franklin's Barbecue. And that is something that I experienced this past couple of years as we've been doing more RVing and wanting to camp on the road, is things that you can throw in the back of your truck and not have to worry about damage and get the capacity that you get on something like this 22-inch model is really interesting to me. So like I said, zoom in and out of fast forward. I've got some cardboard to clear here, but I'll see you in a couple of minutes. And 22 minutes later, our Weber Smokey Mountain is assembled. This is on the easy side of things. I've done a whole bunch of unboxing videos, everything from a Big Green Egg or maybe the Masterbuilt Gravity series, which is on the approaching to sometimes exceeding the 3-hour side of the scale. This presents no challenges. So as you saw in elapsed time, this goes together really quick. The final touches, I just drop in the water pan, my lower cooking grate, as well as my high cooking grate, and the dome, and we are ready to go. So I think any good unboxing should include a cook. So that's exactly what we're going to do. Now, as it's been 20 years, there's only a few things I remember about smoking on a Weber Smokey Mountain. That was using briquettes instead of natural lump charcoal, and temperatures are much easier to control outside of the dead of winter. So I'm going to ignore both of those things and hope that 2 decades more of grilling and smoking experience can help me overcome some of these things that stumped younger James in my 20s 2 decades ago. So I filled up the bottom of our charcoal grate in the Smoky Mountain with some fresh Fogo, like I would always do in any of my Kamados, or even an offset if you have a smaller one and you want to get started with some charcoal. That's a great way to build a bit of a cold bed. And I also placed a couple pieces of smoking wood underneath to make sure that we get some good clean smoke all the way through our cook. We'll take a little peek later on to see how we're doing with our water pan as well as with those smoking pieces of wood. I use my Grill Blazer grill gun, get a nice hot fire in the center so that we can control our burn down towards that wood, which will smolder and come up through the active fire to impart some wonderful smoky aromas, and then just install the rest of our Smoky Mountain with the water pan. Our lower level cooking grates, which I'm only going to use for a drip tray just to stop catching some of that rendering fat from falling all the way down into the bottom of our smoker, our main cooking grate, and then dropped in our pork shoulder. The pork shoulder is one I just had sitting in the refrigerator, or in the freezer I should say, so I did a quick on thaw overnight and then applied my homemade Texas smoking rub recipe. This is something I share for free on the website. If you haven't seen it before, I did a compilation comparing blacks, Franklins, as well as Goldies, and I put this together. And I put it on the website instead of down below. Some people ask, because I'm always making little tweaks to get it even closer to absolute perfection. So the latest and greatest of any of these recipes exists on my website at smokingdadbarbecue.com. It's free, and also free if you haven't already signed up for the newsletter. If you do that, you get a free temperature guide, which shows smoking temperatures and meat finishing temperatures for almost anything you might want to be turning out on your backyard grill. So now that I've got this all set up, I dropped in a meter probe and put it onto our smoker. And I like to, with any sort of getting to know you cook on any smokers, take a gradual sort of ladder approach. And so I started off with my bottom air vents nearly closed to see just how much from a smoke leak perspective draw that we were getting, and that got me up into the low 200s. I started to move towards an 1/8 of an inch, and that's now brought me up to about the 250 degree Fahrenheit temperature range. So I'm going to give that a little bit more time, as we're just about an hour in, to regulate temperatures, and currently I've been doing everything so far with the top vent all the way open to promote good draw. So now that you're all caught up, I'll see you a couple hours later in the day and update you in terms of how this reacquaintance, getting to know you smoke on the Weber Smokey Mountain has gone, and hopefully we'll have some delicious pulled pork to share a little bit later on in the day. See you soon. Well, 8.5 hours later, we have our pulled pork ready. Well, it's not quite pulled, but it's about to be, well, I hope, some delicious pulled pork. And this went way better than I remember. So clearly in 2 decades, we must have picked up a thing or two about fire management, as that was a breeze. I checked a couple times to make sure that we weren't running out of charcoal even in these cool temps. My complete basket was enough to sustain this 8.5 hour cook, although we are down to a few glowing embers at this point. So would need warmer weather or more fuel if we were to do something maybe like a brisket and go past the 8.5 hours on the grill. This has now had some time to rest on the counter. I've got some forks, everything ready. Let's slice it up and see how we did. All right, moment of truth. I can tell it's cold out. I see almost a little steam chimney coming out of the hole of where I had our meter probe. I did opt for the meter 2, by the way, as it has the additional internal sensors. This has been really critical on things like brisket or pork shoulders, where sometimes if you hit a little bit of a fat pocket, that you may not know if you're getting the accurate reading. By having sensors all the way throughout the probe, this is giving me a good view of what was actually going on with our cook. Only thing I wish for here is that we had the Wi-Fi capabilities of the block, as that would make staying connected when I wandered away from the house even easier. Oh my goodness, look at this. See if I can even lift this up in one piece. Remove my butcher's twine here. I've got forks, but I don't think we're going to need them. This feels incredibly tender. Oh, what a nice shred. This is coming apart just like butter. Look at that, so tender. I'm actually going to take this inside so it doesn't cool off too quick, as this is our family dinner, and come back out with a couple samples for our taste test. Anyway, cheers. Wow. Wow. Now, admittedly, there are not many pulled porks that I don't like, but this is up there. This is a very well-smoked pulled pork, and that just speaks to what you can see there, smoke leaks coming out, is we are burning an efficient fire. This was not airtight. That'll get better with a couple cooks on it. At least that was my experience 20 years ago. We get a little bit of cooks and they sort of naturally act as a bit of a gasket and seal that up. Otherwise, I might do a mods video and sort of bring some of those other things that I think would further enhance and open up even more cooking options. Let me know down in the comments if you'd like to see that in a future series. But for getting to know you, or should I say reunion cook, this went so much better than what I remember 20 years ago, and I'm excited to see how this does in my upcoming series of below $500 grills and smoker options, including pellet grills, charcoal, as well as maybe even revisiting that sub 500 or around 500 from an offset perspective in terms of what's your best bang for your buck in terms of the various categories that are out there if you want to add or get started with grilling and smoking in 2024. That's it for today's unboxing and first impressions cook. Be sure to let me know down in the comments if there's anything else you'd like to see on the Weber Smokey Mountain, or you can ask me in person in an upcoming members live where we can go one-on-one, answer questions in a bit more of a real-time format versus these pre-recorded videos. But that is it for today. I'm James from Smoking Head Barbecue signing off. Remember, don't be afraid to fire it up.